Hey everybody, it is Dave and Richard here with another special guest, Esmeralda Velasco, with Jim. This is our Ask the Lender show, so she's a home lender. And we got a fun topic today, one that I like, and it's one that I think you guys will like as well. And that's maybe leveraging your first home to get a rental property. So lots of different ways to do that, but maybe some ways you haven't thought of. So somebody owns a house, they live in it, and they want to buy their first rental. What's a way they can do that?
So a way they could do that to save them a lot of money is they could rent the actual property that they're currently living in and then move into another property. Depending on the type of loan program that they currently have on the home that they're living in, they could either go into a conventional loan with 5%, or they could use an FHA loan if they're not already using it, and go in with 3.5%.
Okay. So that's a big difference, because you could buy your next primary residence with a lower down payment, and then make your old house the rental.
Yeah, and the best part about that is that when you make your primary home a rental, the rents offset the mortgage. In most cases, it offsets most of the mortgage to where it doesn't affect you when you're buying another property. So it doesn't affect your ratios.
So they'll use do you have to have a rental agreement in place, or will they use the proposed rents for that?
It depends. Most cases we could use the rental agreement because you do have to have it rented out, by the time you close the other property.
So what if they don't have somebody in place yet?
Then we could probably do like a rental survey, but a lot of the times they do, per underwriting, they do require the rental agreement.
Yeah, it's good, because most people think when they really want to go buy a rental property, but sometimes they struggle with saving up that full 20 or 25% down payment. It can take a long time to save 80 to 100 grand here locally. So that's a good little hack to get your first rental property. Yeah,
the best part is if you're like a first-time home buyer and you're able to find a duplex as your primary, then you'll have positive cash flow from the moment you rent that property out a year after you move into it and move into the next property.
If you are buying a rental, though, just the other way around, how much do you have to put down?
So if you don't want to move out of your property and you do want to buy a rental property, you do need anywhere from 15 to 20% down.
So you can't get in as low as 15?
Yes.
What, good credit or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the rate's a little bit higher too when it's a investment property versus a primary. So.
Gotcha.
And then do you need reserves on top of the down payment?
You do.
Okay.
So you have to have, if it's a investment property, you have to have at least 3 months of reserves.
So
minimum.
Not only the down payment, but more money in the bank on top of that. So
that's a big savings, yeah.
So the first way of doing it's the path of least resistance, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's a real easy way. You just need to live in the primary home for a year, and then...
That was my next question. You have to stay 12 months into that primary before you can make the move?
Yes, you do.
And turn it into a rental?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one thing to consider when you turn your primary into a rental, that now is a rental property that you have to claim on your taxes. So definitely want to speak to a CPA about the pros and cons of having a rental property. And there are a lot of pros, by the way.
There's a lot of pros. And once you do put that rental property in your taxes, if you want to move from that second home into another primary home, you could have the two rentals. And then since it's being reported on your taxes, we could do a rental survey. Because if it's not being reported on your taxes, then we could not use the rental income.
So can somebody technically just keep doing this every year?
Yes.
Buy a house, 12 months, move, rent it out. But 12 months go by, you do it again?
Yes.
And then again?
Yeah. They could have up to 10 finance properties. And
it's up to 10?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. That's good.
So we should put your house on the market, and you guys could buy a new one.
Get into that one story.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there you go. There's a great information there on potentially getting your first rental property for less than 25% down payment.
That's right.
So,
it's a great way to build wealth for the family. So
that is right. That is correct. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's Ask the Lender show. Thank you, Esmeralda, for being here today, and we shall see you on the next one.